Back to education now. I had my say at the top of the program. I want to bring in now child and adolescent psychologist Claire Rowe. Good to talk to you again, Claire. We have the Premier in New South Wales saying schools can be going back on a staggered basis from October the 25th, more than 2 months away. She says this could bring joy to students and parents. What's your take on it?
Yeah, hi Chris, good to be with you. It's disastrous really, but look, I'll be honest, I didn't think that they were going to go back until November, unfortunately. I, like you, think they should be back on Monday morning. I've been calling for schools to go back for a very, very long time, but I think in my heart of hearts I knew she's going to wait till November. And this is disastrous for a whole group of groups of children that we don't really think about. I mean, there is, of course, the psychologically healthy children that never saw a psychologist like myself prior to this, who are presenting to me in droves. I'm seeing teenagers who are not showering regularly, refusing to eat, refusing to get out of their bed, haven't exited their bedroom in weeks. I mean, that is the scale of what we're talking about. And increased rates of self-harming and depression. So, and these were psychologically healthy teenagers 3 or 4 months ago. And then we look at kind of other special needs groups, and they're the ones I'm really concerned about and ones that my clinic deals with. And I'm talking about kids with learning difficulties, kids on the autism spectrum. I mean, we think about kids who don't have access to a lot of early intervention, which we have pressed for years, and I've been involved with the NDIS rollout and so forth, that these children have a window of early intervention that assists them. Their speech therapy groups, their social groups, their face-to-face counselling. We can't do counselling online with telehealth with these groups of children. And keeping them out of school and remaining home for another couple of months is disastrous.
Look, the trouble is that there's no intelligent being, let alone any expert, who would deny the fact that some kids won't recover from this break in their education on social development and educational grounds. The question is just how many. And now it's not just a New South Wales problem, because of course half the kids in the country are out of school at the moment with the Victoria lockdown. And when we've seen how Victoria has tended to be even more conservative, there must be grave fears that term 4 will go missing in Victoria as well.
Well, Chris, I think term 4 to a degree will go missing in Sydney. I mean, as you said, we pop back in November. Kids are already, and quite frankly, teachers are already in that mindset of kind of wind down end of year stuff. And I think mentally people have kind of wiped this year. So I see families every day that are kind of thinking, well, no, this is a lost cause for this year and we'll start again next year. Now, absolutely, I think there was a period of time there where we were at home for a few weeks and we could say, look, what is a 6 or 7-year-old going to miss out on in a couple of weeks that they are not going to catch up on by the time they sit the HSC? And I would tend to agree with that. However, there will be quite a large population of children with the early phonetic acquisition of things like reading that will be behind for years to come, possibly not recover. And they were perhaps vulnerable before this at having learning difficulties and kids with reading disorders. But now you take away several months, half a year, a whole year of education, and there will be irreparable damage that we can't recover, unfortunately. And I don't know the scale of that, and I don't think we're going to know the scale of that for a good number of years. And this comes at a time where, with the fabulous work that people like Mark Latham are doing in pushing education and returning to basics. This comes at a time where our education standards and results were heading downward on a world stage anyway. And we were looking at NAPLAN results and thinking, where are we going wrong anyway? And I just can't think about where we're going to be in 12 months or 2 years' time after now facing this hurdle.
It is very, very sad. Thanks so much for joining us, Claire.
Thank you.